The rain outside poured endlessly against the huge glass windows of the penthouse. Thunder echoed through the silent apartment while the clock ticked loudly in the living room. You stood in the kitchen quietly reheating dinner for the third time. Your hands trembled slightly as you checked your phones again. 11:47 p.m. No calls, no text, nothing from your husband. Jungkook was always like this, cold, distant, unreadable. The man who once used to cling to you like you were oxygen now barely even looked at your face. Still, you waited every night like a fool. You heard the apartment door unlock violently. The sound made your shoulders stiffen instantly. Jungkook walked in, wearing a black suit soaked lightly from the rain. His tie was loose, eyes tired, jaw clenched hard. He looked angry. Again, you quickly forced a smile. You're home. No response. He threw his car keys into the table harshly. Ryan flinched. He loosed his lips while walking past like you didn't exist. You swallowed nervously. I reheated dinner, your favorite one. Still nothing. The silence hurt more than shouting sometimes. You followed him slowly. Jungkook? He suddenly turned. What? The sharpness in his voice made you freeze. You looked down immediately. I was just worried. He laughed bitterly. Jungkook worried? His eyes were dark. You think I need someone worrying over me every second? No, I just Jungkook. Then stop acting like my mother. Your lips parted slightly. That hurt badly. You tried hiding it with a tiny smile. Okay, I'm sorry. He rubbed his forehead aggressively. Jungkook, God, can you stop apologizing for everything? The room became suffocating. You quietly placed dinner on the table. Vayan, I will bring water. Jungkook, I'm not hungry. Vayan, you didn't eat since morning. Jungkook, I said I'm not hungry. You jumped badly at his sudden yell. The spoon slipped from your hands, clattered into the floor. Your breathing became uneven. Jungkook stared at you for a second. Maybe guilt crossed his eyes for half a moment, but it disappeared quickly. You bent down shakingly to pick the spoon. Vayan, sorry. I will make something else. He slammed his palm on the dining table. Jungkook, why can't you just listen? You froze again. His chest moved heavily with anger. Jungkook, I am tired when I come home, but every single day you keep talking and worrying and following me around. Tears slowly filled your eyes. You looked at him carefully. Ayan, I only do that because I love you. He scoffed coldly. Love? His eyes finally met yours fully. If you loved me, you would give me space. That sentence shattered something inside you. You stood there silently while tears rolled down your cheeks. But Jungkook looked away first, like he couldn't bear seeing them. You wiped your tears quickly. I understand. Your voice cracked. I will leave you alone tonight. You turned away quietly, but before walking to the room, you stopped softly. Did I really become that annoying to you? Jungkook stayed silent. That silence was your answer. Your lips trembled. Okay. You went inside the room, and for the first time in months, you cried alone. 20 minutes later, you sat on the edge of the bed, staring blankly at your phone screen. No one to talk to, no one to hug, no warmth left in your marriage. You remember old Jungkook, the one who kissed your forehead every morning, the one who used to panic if you even got a tiny fever, the one who once said, if you cry, I will die. Funny, because now he was the reason you cried every night. You looked towards the living room. Maybe you should leave for a while. Maybe both of you needed space. You quietly changed clothes and grabbed the umbrella. As you walk outside, Jungkook noticed. Jungkook, where are you going? You avoided eye contact. Via just outside. Jungkook, at midnight? I will come back soon. He looked irritated again. You always do this emotional drama after argument. Your heart sank further. I'm not doing drama. Jungkook, then what? You looked at him for a long second. Your eyes were red. Ryan, I just wanted some air. He scoffed. Fine, go. That hurt more than if he had stopped you. You nodded softly. For you, good night. The door closed softly behind you. Rain poured heavily as you walked down the empty streets. Cars passed occasionally. Your umbrella barely protected you from the storm. Your tears mixed with rainwater. Your chest hurt badly. You kept replaying his words again and again. You're annoying. Give me space. Stop following me around. You covered your mouth trying not to sob loudly. Then your phone vibrated. Jungkook calling. Your eyes widened slightly. For one tiny second, hope bloomed inside you. Maybe he regretted. Maybe he was coming after you. You answered quickly. Hello. But his voice sounded cold again. Jungkook, where exactly are you? Your hope faded instantly. Jungkook, come home now. The weather is bad. You gave a weak smile through tears. Ryan, you suddenly care. Then he spoke quietly. Just come back. You closed your eyes painfully. Ryan, I will come back in some second. Then, bright headlights flashed violently towards you. Your eyes widened. A truck lost control on the wet road. Everything happened too fast. Loud crash. Your body flew across the door. Your phone shattered. Blood spread slowly beneath you as rain poured endlessly. On the other side of the call, Vayan. Jungkook's voice turned sharp instantly. Vayan. Heavy breathing, distant scream, then silence. Complete silence. Meanwhile, Jungkook's face lost all color. The phone slipped from his hand. Jungkook, no. He grabbed his keys immediately. No, no. For the first time in months, fear completely restored his cold mask. Jungkook ran through the corridors breathlessly. Jungkook, where is she? Doctors and nurses looked shocked. One nurse spoke quickly. Family of Fayan. Jungkook, I'm her husband. Nurse. She is in emergency surgery right now. Jungkook's breathing became unstable. His hand shook violently. Blood. There was blood on your scarf, the nurse handed him. Then memories hit him hard. Your smile, your tiny laugh, the way you waited every night, the way you always reheated dinner, the way you still love him despite everything. He slowly collapsed into the chair. Jungkook, what did I do? Tears finally fell from his eyes, real tears, broken tears. I shouted at her. She was crying. Hours passed. Then finally, the doctor came out. Jungkook stood immediately. Jungkook, how is she? The doctor's face looked serious. Doctor, there was severe bleeding, but she survived. Jungkook nearly broke down from relief, but then there is something else. His smile faded. The doctor sighed softly. Doctor, she was pregnant. Jungkook froze completely. What? Doctor, you didn't know. The word stopped. Doctor, she was 2 months pregnant. Silence. Jungkook's knees weakened. Pregnant? You were carrying his child, and he shouted at you, ignored you, made you cry. The doctor looked on sadly. We couldn't save the baby. The words destroyed him instantly. Jungkook stumbled backward like he couldn't breathe anymore. No, no. His eyes became red immediately. No, no, no. He grabbed his hair painfully. Jungkook, I didn't know. Then he started crying. Not silently, not softly. He completely broke. The cold man everyone feared was shattered on a hospital floor because the two people who loved him most suffered because of him. Morning. Your eyes slowly opened. The room was blurry, weak, painful. You turned your head slightly and saw Jungkook sitting beside your bed. His eyes were swollen red like he cried the entire night. The moment he saw you awake, he stood up instantly. Jungkook, Vayan. His voice broke badly. Then noticed his trembling hands. Vayan, what happened? He couldn't answer. Tears filled his eyes again. Jungkook, you scared me. You looked confused. Then slowly, your hands moved to your stomach instinctively. Jungkook immediately broke down again. His face crumpled. Jungkook, I'm sorry. You froze. Your eyes slowly widened. Vayan, no. Tears rolled down immediately. Jungkook held your hands carefully. I'm sorry. You started crying silently, my baby. The room filled with heartbreak, then finally you whispered the question that destroyed him forever. Why, if I died yesterday, would you have regretted shouting at me? Jungkook looked at you like someone stabbed his heart. Jungkook, yes, for the rest of my life. Then he lowered his forehead into a hand and whispered brokenly, I was already losing you slowly, but I was too blind to notice. The hospital room was silent except for the faint sound of the heart monitor. Soft rain tapped against the window while dim evening light filled the room. You sat quietly on the bed, staring blankly at your hand. Ever since losing the baby, something inside you had changed. You barely spoke, barely smiled, barely looked at Jungkook, and that scared him more than anything. Because yelling, crying, even anger would have been easier than the silence. Jungkook stood near the doorway holding a small paper bag from your favorite bakery, the same bakery he used to drive 30 minutes to at midnight just because you once craved strawberry bread. Now his hands trembled while holding it. He walked towards you. Jungkook, I bought you the one you like. You didn't respond. He carefully placed the bag on the table. Jungkook, the fresh one, not the packaged one. Still nothing. His chest tightened. Your eyes remained fixed downward. Jungkook swallowed hard. Jungkook, I know you hate me right now, and you should, but please, say something. You finally looked at him. Your eyes were empty. That terrified him. Not tears, not screaming, nothing, just emptiness. Vayan, what should I say? Jungkook's throat tightened. You looked away again. Vayan, I lost my baby, and I almost died. And the last thing I remember before the accident was you shouting at me. Jungkook looked like he physically couldn't handle hearing them. Jungkook, please stop. Vayan, no. Your voice finally shook. You wanted space, right? Tears slowly filled your eyes again. You got it now, Jungkook, Vayan. You don't have to worry anymore. I wouldn't follow you around. Jungkook, please stop. I wouldn't wait for you at night anymore. Jungkook suddenly grabbed your hand desperately. Stop saying that. You flinched instantly. The second he noticed, he let go immediately. His face crumbled. Jungkook, I'm sorry. Your breathing became uneven again. He hated himself. Hated the fact your body reacted to him with fear now. The man who once made you feel safest had become the reason you flinched. Jungkook slowly stepped back, like he didn't deserve to touch you anymore. Then quietly, Jungkook, I never stopped loving you. You laughed softly, but it sounded painful. Love? Love shouldn't hurt this much. That sentence shattered him completely. That night, after you fell asleep, Jungkook sat alone outside the hospital hallway. His head leaned against the wall while exhaustion consumed him. Then suddenly, his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered tiredly. Jungkook, hello, Mr. Jeon, a doctor's voice. Jungkook immediately straightened. Yes, we need you to come for your test result. His expression darkened instantly now. Doctor, it's urgent. 30 minutes later, Jungkook sat inside another doctor's office silently. A thick file rested on the desk. The doctor signed heavily. Doctor, the tumor is spreading faster than expected. Jungkook looked down quietly. No reaction, like he already knew. Doctor, you should begin treatment immediately. If you delay more, the doctor hesitated. You may only have a few months. Jungkook closed his eyes slowly. A few months. That was it. That was all he had left. The doctor spoke gently. Does your wife know? Jungkook immediately answered, no, she should not. His voice became firm. Jungkook, I already ruined her enough. Meanwhile, back at the hospital room, you woke up slowly. Your throat felt dry. You noticed Jungkook wasn't there. Your eyes moved towards the small table beside you. The bakery bag was still there, and beside it, a notebook. You frowned slightly. It looked familiar. You slowly reached for it, then your heart stopped. It was Jungkook's handwriting. Your fingers trembled opening the first page. If you are reading this, it means I probably failed again at pretending I don't love you. Your breath caught. You continued reading shakily. I knew you hate me now, maybe you should. But every time I shouted at you, I hated myself more after. I pushed you away because I was scared, not of losing you, but of losing me. Your heartbeat became uneven. Page after page, your tears fell faster. Inside were dates, hospital reports, medicine name, scans, and letters. Hundreds of letters, letters he never gave you. One page made your hands shake the most. Today, the doctor confirmed it's terminal. I came home and almost told you, but you smiled at me while holding the dinner. And I couldn't restore that smile. Your vision blurred completely. Another page. You keep asking me why I became cold. Because if you kept loving me this much, my death would destroy you. Then another. I became the villain instead. I thought if you hated me, you would survive easier. Your lips trembled violently. No. Then you reached the final unfinished letter. The ink looked smudged, like tears had fallen on it. If I ever lose you before I die, that would be my punishment, and honestly, I deserve it. You covered your mouth and cried silently, hard, painfully, because suddenly everything made sense: the distance, the anger, the sleepless night, the coldness. It was never because he stopped loving you. He loved you so much that he destroyed himself trying to prepare you for losing him. Hospital rooftop. Cold wind blew strongly. Jungkook stood near the edge, staring blankly at the city lights. His eyes looked empty, tired, broken. He whispered quietly to himself, she deserved better. Then suddenly, Jungkook. He turned instantly. Your hospital gown fluttered in the wind as you ran towards him crying. His eyes widened in shock. Jungkook, why? Before he could react, you slammed into his chest, hugging him tightly. His body froze. You cried harder against him, you idiot. Jungkook's breathing became shaky. You stupid idiot. He slowly held you carefully, like you would disappear. Jungkook, you knew. You nodded while crying. Why didn't you tell me? His eyes filled immediately. Jungkook, because I was scared. Your hands gripped his shirt tightly. Why? You think losing you later would hurt less than watching you suffer alone now? He looked away painfully. Jungkook, I didn't want you to trap beside someone dying. Your eyes turned angry through tears. Why? Then why did you marry me? That hit him hard. He stayed silent. You pushed his chest weakly. Why? Why love me if you were gonna decide my feelings for me? Jungkook, I was trying to protect you. Why? You don't protect someone by making them feel unloved. Jungkook finally broke completely. I didn't know what to do. His voice cracked loudly. Tears streamed down his face. I was terrified. He grabbed his hair shakingly. I watched you sleeping every night, wondering how many days I had left. His breathing became unstable. I heard you planning baby names while knowing I might never ever see our child growing up. You froze crying. And every time you smiled at me, I felt guilty because I was leaving you behind. You slowly stepped closer again, then gently held his face. Paya, look at me. His red eyes met yours. You don't get to decide whether I stay or leave. Fresh tears rolled down his cheeks. You whispered softly, I married you knowing life wouldn't always be beautiful. Then your voice cracked, and don't ever make me feel unloved again. Jungkook completely broke down. He hugged you tightly while sobbing into your shoulder. For the first time in months, the cold mask shattered entirely, and underneath it was just a terrifying husband who loved his wife too much to say goodbye properly. The next few weeks felt strange yet beautiful, like both of you were learning each other again from the beginning, slowly, carefully, painfully. Jungkook stopped pretending he was okay, and you stopped pretending his coldness hadn't broken you. For the first time in months, everything was honest, even the ugly parts. One morning, sunlight entered softly through the apartment windows while you stood in the kitchen making breakfast. The atmosphere felt unfamiliar, quiet, but not painful anymore. You were cutting strawberries when suddenly strong arms wrapped around your waist from behind. You frowned slightly. Jungkook buried his face into your shoulder sleepily. Jungkook, don't use the knife when I am not here. Your lips twitched a little. Why, there is literally nothing dangerous happening, Jungkook. You could still get hurt. Why, you are overreacting. Jungkook, you almost died. The sentence made both of you pause. Jungkook's grip around you tightened unconsciously. You slowly turned around. His eyes looked tired again, not physically, but emotionally. He still hadn't forgiven himself. Not really. You gently touched his cheeks. Vayan, I'm here. His eyes softened instantly, but guilt still remained hidden underneath, like always. Treatment started soon after chemotherapy, hospital visits, medicines, sleepless nights, and slowly the strong, intimidating Jungkook everyone admired started becoming weaker. His hair began falling out gradually, his body lost weight. Some nights he couldn't even stand properly. But the scariest part, he still tried hiding his pain from you, even now. One night, you woke up hearing quiet sounds from the bathroom. You immediately sat up. Jungkook, no answer. You walked towards bathroom quickly. Then your heart dropped. Jungkook was sitting on the floor beside the sink, breathing heavily. Sweat covered his face. His hand shook violently, and there was blood. You panicked instantly. Jungkook. He immediately looked away. Jungkook, I'm okay. Why, don't lie to me. Your voice cracked badly. You knelt beside him quickly. His body was burning. Tears instantly filled your eyes. Vayan, you are in pain. Jungkook, I said I'm fine. Vayan, you are still doing it. He went silent, still pretending. Your hands trembled while wiping blood from his lip. Vayan, you don't have to protect me from this anymore. Jungkook looked at you weakly. Then finally, for the first time, he admitted softly, Jungkook, I'm scared. Your heart broke instantly. His eyes slowly filled with tears. Jungkook, I don't want to die. You started crying too. He lowered his head shakily. Jungkook, I know I deserve punishment after everything. Bayan, don't say that. Jungkook, but I don't want to leave you alone. You immediately hugged him tightly. Bayan, you are not leaving me. His voice cracked against your shoulder. Jungkook, what if I do? You pulled back and held his arm firmly. Bayan, then I will still love you. Fresh tears fell from his eyes, but until that day come, you are staying beside me. You kissed his forehead softly. That night, both of you cried together on the bathroom floor, not because love disappeared, but because it finally became honest enough to show fear. Months passed. Treatment continued. Some days were horrible, some days were hopeful, and slowly something unexpected started happening. Jungkook's report began improving. The doctors themselves looked shocked. One afternoon, both of you sat nervously inside the doctor's office. The doctor stared at the newest scan carefully, then slowly smiled. Jungkook frowned slightly. What? The doctor looked up. Doctor, the tumor responded better than expected. You immediately held Jungkook's hand tightly. The doctor continued smiling. Doctor, it's shrinking. Silence. Neither of you moved. Neither of you breathed. Then, what? Jungkook's voice sounded barely audible. The doctor nodded. There is still treatment ahead, but this, he pointed towards his skin, is a miracle. Your eyes instantly filled with tears. Jungkook looked completely frozen, like he was scared to believe it. Jungkook, you mean, doctor, you have a real chance now. The moment those words settled, you burst into tears immediately. Jungkook turned towards you slowly. His own eyes became red instantly. You laughed while crying. Oh my god. Jungkook suddenly covered his face and started crying too. Not quiet tears, broken, relieved tears. The doctor quietly left the room to give both of you privacy. And inside that small office, you hugged each other like two people surviving a storm together. 5 years later, spring, warm sunlight filled the garden outside your new house. The air smelled like flowers. Wind moved softly through the trees. And for the first time in a long time, life felt peaceful, really peaceful. You stood in the yard watering flowers carefully. Then suddenly, tiny footsteps ran across the grass. Mama, you turned immediately, smiling. A little girl with big sparkling eyes ran towards you happily. And behind her, Jungkook followed, carrying grocery bags while pretending to look annoyed. Jungkook, yeah, I told you not to run. Why? She got your dramatic personality. You laughed. She definitely didn't get it from me. The little girl gasped dramatically. Daddy called me dramatic. You laughed harder. Jungkook rolled his eyes but smiled softly. A real smile, one that disappeared for years, now finally returned. Your daughter suddenly hugged your leg tightly. Jia, Daddy cried yesterday again. Jungkook froze instantly. You raised an eyebrow, oh really? He looked offended. Jungkook, traitor. Your daughter giggled loudly. You smirked. Why were you crying, Mr. Jeon? Jungkook muttered while putting groceries down. Jungkook, because your all pregnancy videos came up. Your expression softened instantly. There was silence for a moment. Not painful silence, just emotional. Because both of you still remembered the baby you lost, still loved that child silently, always would. Jungkook walked towards you slowly, then gently wrapped one arm around your waist while your daughter clung to his leg. He looked at both of you quietly, like he still couldn't believe you stayed. You noticed his expression. Why? What? His eyes softened deeply. Nothing. But then he whispered, honestly, Jungkook, I almost lost all this. You were just tightened softly. You held his hand, Wyan, but you didn't. He smiled faintly, then leaned down and kissed your forehead slowly, the same way he used to do before life became cruel. And this time, he didn't push you away, didn't hide his fear, didn't pretend not to love you. Because after surviving death, grief, guilt, and almost losing each other, Jungkook finally understood something. Love was never about protecting someone from pain. It was about staying, even when life became painful.